2020. And an early stop for us is to come and see the dear, lovely, our friend Paul Highmarsh. Good looking.
Good smelling.
Absolutely.
Good smelling at the moment. Maybe not later on.
2 hours time.
For those of you that think
It's
you've
getting
accidentally tuned into some sort of futuristic episode of Poldark, it's totally not.
Where he's way older. Has Paul Doug got a beard?
I see it every time.
I don't know if he has a beard, but I just
he doesn't have a beard.
Top off.
I'll take it. No.
Yeah.
Nobody needs that. Nobody.
So, now,
Moving swiftly on.
let's move swiftly on. The pod. The little kidney bean that changed everything.
Yeah.
It did.
What, 30 years ago or something?
No, not quite 30, but 1998.
Wow.
So 1998 it came out, and I remember buying one when it first came out. I think everybody had one.
Everybody
It
bought
revolutionised the way that you could record, and I meant I didn't have to upset my parents or the neighbours or anything. I finally got good guitar sounds.
I don't need
at home.
to upset my parents.
2020 is Pod Go.
It is Pod Go.
So,
Pod Go.
come on then,
It's
Tell
lightweight
us.
and portable. But the most important thing about this is that it's now loaded with HX models. So it has 270 HX models from the rest of the HX modeling line. So it's really all about the sound and some of the interface that we've brought over as well from other really popular products that we have. So we have multicolored foot switches as well. So if I was to go into here, so it's the same old thing that I've been talking about for such a long time. What color is green?
Delay.
Yay!
Yeah, see? Even I remember.
Exactly.
God, do you know what?
You keep saying it over and over again.
I've slightly freaked myself out here.
That's just me going, what?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
still like third grade.
I have remembered. I remember purple is all the weird ones, green is delays, isn't it? And yellow is distortions.
Blue?
Blue's reverb.
Modulations.
Oh,
Modulations. That was really cool.
Well,
See,
I
if
got
you just
3 out of 4.
if you repeat the same thing over and over
While
again, every
smashing
time I
around the head
see
with
you,
the Pod Go.
you eventually
What
remember.
colour is
Yeah.
the reverb?
So we've taken things like that. So yeah, multicolored foot switches. All the effects are color coded as well.
Yeah.
And it's a nice sort of, it's a simplified sort of interface. You have player view where you can go through all your presets, and you can switch to have it in stomp pedal mode where you can actually access your individual pedals. So just like we just said, that become individual pedals. If you're in edit view, 9 different blocks on there.
Yeah.
All of the blocks every single preset will be preloaded with an amplifier, a cabinet model, a volume, a wah, and an EQ. So you can't change that. You can change the type of amp, you can change the type of cab, you can change the type of EQ, but you can't change an EQ into anything else. So they're kind of fixed as an EQ.
Yeah, but that's what you would need anyway,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely, yeah. So it's made it much easier for somebody who just wants to plug in and play. They've instantly got those sounds.
Go.
Yeah. Well, the go comes later once you've plugged in and you've learned the songs. Then you go to the gig.
Would it be fair to say that where Helix Stomp kind of took so much of the Helix stuff and put it in such a small box that it, certainly my experience of it was I did find it quite overwhelming to remember how to do certain functions.
Right.
Is it sort of fair to say that what you've sort of done here is just given it a bit more space to breathe, put the expression pedal in, simplified it a bit, because it's going to be similar money to HX Stomp by the looks of things.
It is, yeah.
Isn't it?
So HX Stomp's more designed for somebody who wants to integrate it into another setup.
Another pedal.
So HX Stomp, you can have 2 amplifier models.
Yeah.
You can run dual paths.
Yeah.
You can't do dual paths or anything on here. But those sort of things, not everybody needs that. Some people just want 1 amp, they want 1 cab, and they're always going to want that, and those extra things there. So it's
I get it.
Like I said, yeah. Stomp is for a part of a bigger rig.
A little bit easy to use. Got the expression pedal built in.
The whole layout is very similar.
Yeah.
With the knobs and
I can kind of
Absolutely,
see why, because I think one of my questions was why has this been put in the Pod family rather than Helix family? But I think I get that delineation now between Pod being about it's easy to use, guitar player's going to love it, just turn and go. Helix, you've got to get the manual out if you want to get the best of it, haven't you?
Yeah, all that extra stuff, with the loops and all of that extra stuff.
So pick a couple of cool tunes there, or a couple of sounds, and let's I think people love hearing it.
So let me see what I actually have in here.
You're hearing the DI, by the way. So we're running it into the power cab. So we're hearing the power cab, but you guys are hearing the DI through.
So I'm just going to knock this into. I'm going to get a little bit close to you here, Lee.
It's fine.
Actually,
it's okay. Fine. I'll be honest with you. It's like having Poldark fiddling around my nether regions is
So I've got some, I sort of missed all that, and I'm quite pleased.
Yeah, fine. Don't worry about it. Let's just move on quickly.
It's all good.
So we also have snapshots in here as well. It's another thing we brought over from Helix and from the other things. Yeah. So on here, on these presets, I've got really basic amp sound on snapshot number 2. And when I hit number 1,
Great.
it's bringing in all of the extra effects. Yeah. And then we just have a sort of collection of those sort of things. Snapshot number 2.
That's a good little riff. It is 300-foot gorilla, isn't it?
No,
what is
it's
it?
very like 300-foot gorilla.
What was your? Is that
Oh,
the band?
yeah, the band was 300-foot gorilla.
That's Paul's band, by the way. If you want to check them out,
Check it out.
Cool band.
Yeah, moving up. So I've kind of got these all laid out like that, really. So snapshot number B is. So that's the Fullerton amp model. And I press snapshot number 1.
Even though we're running into the cab, is the through got all of the cab emulation on it for the?
So at the moment I've got no cab emulation going on. That's flat.
But that's what I mean. So that what the guys are hearing here will have cabinet emulation on it. Does that make sense?
Yes, because this is the cabinet emulation's in here, so it should just be running straight. It should just be running straight through there.
What's the functionality from the USB output? Is it just editor, or can you record out from there as well?
So you can record out from there, like most things that Line 6 do. It's a USB interface as well. That gives you 4 channels of USB audio with reamping as well. So you can do all that, which is, I love reamping so much. It's my favourite thing.
She's one of my favourite reamping. Umbrella was my favourite track by reamping.
Umbrella.
And then also coming to,
or as my mum calls her, Rihanna. It's like, Mum. It's like, it's not Rihanna. Anyway.
And then we'll also have the edit software.
Okay.
Coming later on as well.
Cool.
So then, if you want to talk about the inserts and the backs, it's all the obvious stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't
Except
it?
you can add an extra expression pedal to that. So you can add one of the mission pedals, or you can add two on-off pedals. You've got a stereo effects loop, which can be moved anywhere in the signal chain as well. And then we have this quite interesting little amp out jack, which defaults to a mono version of the normal, the full speaker simulated sound.
Okay.
But you can set that to take a tap off just before the cab model. Yeah. So wherever it means you can run your amp model straight into your normal amp, and then the front of house or the console are the only thing that actually gets the speaker model. And the other thing I should say as well is we also have impulse response loading in there as well. Ooh. So Owen Hammer impulse response, anything like that.
Impulse response.
That's great.
Yeah, you can load all of those in.
Can I just show the back of that, because it's got a little handle on it.
Little handle,
so that you can grab it and go.
Yeah, and it's all metal. Are the switches the finger touchy things, or are they just normal switches?
No, they're just normal switches. It works in a similar sort of way if you want to assign something instead of touching and holding, you actually press and hold if you want to assign it for a switch. So some of that interactivity, is that a word?
When I was playing bare feet with my Helix, it always went in the way.
When I had that little Helix 8
you can switch that off.
I know I need to switch it off.
I know, but I can't work that out.
But to be honest with you, the fact that you play in bare feet is just disgusting.
I play completely naked.
Well, this is good fun. When will these be in the shops?
That's a very, very good question. I think they're a few months away.
I've just had April mouthed at me from afar.
April. The man in the know says April. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But my band one.
Well, I think we should
just
play us out. Play us out with a cool trick. Yeah. I mean, Line 6 next year. I mean, in fairness, I'm not averse to going into rooms full of red lights. I mean, Pete's taken me into one or two, but it makes it really difficult to film stuff. So if we could have more white light next year, please, less red light, that would be awesome. We've never really been into a room with red lights, have we? Anyway,
thanks very much, man.
Sorry.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Play us out. It's the very talented, wonderful Paul Hine. Oh, he sped up everything just to rub it in about how good he is. Anyway,
Insta drive.
see you next time.
Yeah. We sped that up in the
Yeah.